Greetings, YouTube. I acknowledge that doing my normal daily offer grades feels different when you know that the Kabam servers have actively been hacked and people are buying for pennies on the dollar the rarest and most valuable items in the game, or as I'm about to cover in a separate video, potentially access to a champion that hasn't even been released and as a 5-star yet. And yes, we are talking about the only champion that hasn't been released as a 5-star that I know of that people care about, at least, and that is Scarlet Witch. But let's just try to set that aside for a second to do our normal job of talking about how Kabam wants you to not think about how they've been compromised, probably from the help of an inside job, because today you can get champions when buying units, and you can see an image of Guardian and Namor and Mojo, because we have in all levels of the Cavalier version of these, at least, and we'll check out the in-game inbox message in a moment, not only additional 6-star shards, but also the Children of the Atom Crystal, which, when you look at the drop rates, is essentially a featured Cavalier crystal, because you get the 1.5% 6-star and the 17.5% 5-star, the same drop rates that would normally only exist in the 300 units per crystal, or about $10 a piece. Notice that it says 6-star Archangel, Magic Rogue, and Scarlet Witch and Wolverine are not included, which may mean that this is the first chance we have of getting the 5-star Scarlet Witch, which is incredibly appropriate since I just hit publish on that video, because that was like a preview of today's offers. What are the odds of that? Because it says 4-star Cyclops not included, but it doesn't say 5-star Scarlet Witch is not included. It just says 6-star Scarlet Witch is not included, which also means 5-star Wolverine is also going to be included in this bundle. That really does set the temptation and precedent of this higher, and you'll see it's 1 for $5, 2 for $10, and they've just doubled up the 6-star and the featured. So for $30, you'd think it'd be 6, but strangely enough, if you were to just go off of like the math in general, you could get 3 bonus crystals, for $15. You buy the $10 bundle and the $5 bundle, or the same amount, which also, by the way, includes the same amount of 6-star shards for $30. That math makes 0 sense. I get that you get a slightly better deal for the units, but the whole point of buying these right now is to actually have the opportunity to get the crystals and the bonus 6-star shards. So you've got to at least say that they should have got 5 of those crystals for $30 and 500 6-star shards, but I think they're so worried about giving too much value that they're just freezing it in place. So the $50 bundle gives you the 5, which essentially this turns into a early access bundle plus the units without the boost or revives sometimes, and half of the 6-star shards. This should be 1,000 6-star shards at least, but it's not. And then the $100 offer is just doubling what the $50 offer is, which is 10 of those crystals, 1,000 6-star shards, and 3,100 units. So even though I think, given that there are 10 crystals in this, it's an Odin worth of crystals minus 100 units. It's 3,000 units worth of featured calves plus 1,000 6-star shards. I think that's going to be tempting for people, because this, of course, is the best value in terms of units. But can I just say that in terms of math, just spend $15. Just buy the Star-Lord's loot bag and Peter Parker's wallet. You'll get 900 units worth of these crystals, or 300 apiece, because you'll get 3 of them, and you'll get 300 6-star shards. And keep in mind, what does $15 normally get you? Well, normally that gets you maybe about 400 units, right? If you were to buy these together, 275 plus 135. So 400 units is not even the price of what you get for 1.5 of these, and you can't buy halves of these, of course. So you get 900 units worth of items plus the units plus 300 6-star shards for $15. If they had scaled this correctly, I think the Tony Stark's briefcase is the worst value by far. I would recommend that nobody get that. Black Panther's treasure, at least once you get to these two offers, it's about a better deal for the units versus the cash. But if in a perfect world, and I get every time I talk about this, people say, Prof, they would have broken the game. There's no way they could have done this. But think about it. If one crystal is $5, then $100 worth of crystals should be $20. So the left side should have been 10 and the right side should have been 20. That's if the math is consistent. You are limiting one. So that's part of the rationale. Let's see. Is it uncollected and above that get access to these? Hey, what do you know? It's like I've done this before. Yeah. You always gotta love how people who are uncollected and above get access to featured Cavalier crystals. I mean, that is kind of fascinating. So, hey, the biggest takeaway from these is, one, the best value for your money in terms of these crystals, and the 6-star shards even, is the $5 bundle and the $10 bundle. But, most importantly, if I'm reading this correctly, first time we've seen access to the opportunity for a 5-star Scarlet Witch. And that's huge because if this was a featured Grandmaster crystal, you would expect the drop rate to that 5-star Scarlet Witch to be at about what the drop rate is for a 6-star in this in general, 1.5%. But there's a 17.5% drop rate for a 5-star in general, which in theory should include Scarlet Witch. So, yeah, I can see certainly whales buying up all these offers, but if you're balling on a budget, you want to get the $5 and the $10, and then if you just want to open 10 of these, you'll get, you'll get the Odin. I'm probably, just for the sake of wanting more units, going to get at least one purchase, and it will be the Odin, so I'll open 10 of these and put that in a separate video. But the A to A plus value comes in at the $5 and $10 marks. The $30 one, comparatively, I'd rate as a C. It's hard to get anything lower than a C just because it's a bonus for units. This one I'd give like a C plus, and then this one I'll give like maybe a B minus, mainly because the units come with it, and that's the most units you can buy. But again, balling on a budget, go with the $5 one and the $10 one, and be thankful you did. The math breakdown is fascinating on these, but we do have the first time chance on paper to get a 5-star Scarlet Witch at a 17.5% drop rate at that. It's pretty crazy. So don't worry that our servers got hacked. Give us your money. Buy these crystals in a legit way. That's what they're saying right now at the Kabam headquarters as they are in full panic mode, I'm sure. Woo! Thanks for watching, YouTube. What a Monday. What a day. What a way to start off Labor Day in the United States.